I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys! Welcome! This is the Unorthodox After Show. We're super excited because we're almost 3/4 of the way through. So we're gonna hit and get right into episode 3 of season 1 today. We are talking about, oh my goodness, really the focus is Esty's sex life and that whole situation. And then with news, we have an update with the Jewish Orthodox community and COVID-19. And then Ashman has our special segment, which is a bit of trivia. So let's get right into it. Ashman is my co-host today, co-host extraordinaire.
Oh, hey Kay, so nice to be hosting with you again. I love covering this show with you. It's been so much fun.
It's such a fascinating show. I feel like we're learning a ton. So give me some of just your overall thoughts on episode 3.
Okay, first of all, I love this series so much. It's not even funny. Like this entire episode, I was like either holding my breath or at the edge of my seat. Like my heart was pounding for Esty. So like it was a jam-packed episode and very personal, very intimate, and we really see what her beliefs are, how she's challenging her beliefs, making references to that. And we see how even in episode 1, Yanky says she's not happy. We learn about in episode 3 why he knew she was unhappy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's go there.
I could have guessed the level of scrutiny that their personal, like so intimate, their sex life was just on blast for the entire community. I could have never predicted that. I mean mom was in the business, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the pressure. I mean, the absolute pressure. Okay, we said it, like the mother-in-law is a monster-in-law, like no doubt about it. Like she is her son's keeper. That is attachment on a whole nother level. She's in the business beyond any respect for the wife or anything like that. Like Esty says, she's like, your whole family is in the bedroom with us. Like, how are we supposed to do this when everybody is in bed with us? The mom, the sisters, everyone knows they're having problems at night, like crazy. And then she shows up at the house. And what does she bring? Like we know what she brought, but the mother-in-law brings it.
Girl, even her own family too, though, because her aunt straight up said to her, what is wrong with you? Yeah. And I was just like, wow. Like I couldn't, for the rest of the episode, so that's her frame of reference. Like something is wrong with me is the frame of reference, and like operating from that, how can she have any confidence? How can she ever be any kind of relaxed? Especially, you also said this is true, there's mounting pressure from everyone. Like you're supposed to be producing these children because they're supposed to replace the 6 million people lost in the Holocaust. So it's not like, well, maybe I could just not have kids. It's like, no. Yanky already said it's the first commandment is to have
that's not even an option.
It's not an option. So not even thinking about like her pleasure or if she enjoys it or the connection with her husband, like just aside from everything else, like you need to be having these kids. And the mother-in-law said to her too, when she left her with the stuff, don't disappoint me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like the level of scrutiny and pressure on her is just immense. Yeah, I could never guess that.
And can we comment on the fact that the mother-in-law makes a comment to her and says, Yanky is sensitive. He needs to feel like the king. The man has to be the king in bed. And I thought Esty was really swift for saying, so does that make me the queen? And the mom doesn't even answer. She just left. She's like, this is not about you. This is about you being the wife, keeping his ego intact and making sure that he feels like he's doing something right and remains as feeling like the king in bed.
Yes, I'm so you mentioned that because that shows you again. So I'm the queen. She was like, she's done with Esty.
Yeah.
Esty. Esty in that moment. I think it was just it's the time bomb with that mom. She's gonna just be like, throw her to the side. She's just so fed up with her. That's why when the son goes to get her, she's just like, it's always something with her. And I'm just like, man. So that was something I could have never anticipated. And the fact was she was trying really hard to make it work. Like she was doing everything they were saying. Let's not even get into the lady that came over her house with the body parts. I was like, where did she get those? Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But she was doing everything they told her to try and make it work,
Yeah.
So it's really disappointing. And you could see in the beginning, like Yanky being frustrated, but really trying to, be patient. But then he just gets to a breaking point too. How did you feel about our Yanky?
I still like Yanky. He is such a sweetheart. And I believe his intentions are good. But, his mother is breathing down his neck. And he even says it. He was like, oh, nobody knows me better than my mom. Like, he's such a
Yes.
mama's boy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to that degree, it's like, no, you haven't even like grown up. Like, you haven't even left the womb yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is too much. And I feel like,
like give your wife the turn to get to know you. You're like, nobody knows me as good as my mother does. But like, how about give your wife the chance to know you? She's gonna know you in a different way that your mom is never gonna know you. But obviously, y'all got the kind of weird relationship where your mom is trying
you create intimacy. Like, that's what makes it personal. That's what makes it effective. So, I mean, I just thought that part
I agree with that. So then let's
crazy
talk
when
a little. Yeah, it was a crazy situation. Sorry, you're freezing a little bit.
Your mother-in-law came by and he's like, oh, I know, that's great. Like, you're on the tail of our business. Any woman on my side too. It's okay. We'll push through.
Yeah. So I like those flashbacks because we get a greater, really good appreciation for everything that she has been through and how it's gotten her to the place where she is now. We can really appreciate looking back. And I think it's really interesting when Yanky goes and visits her mom, Leah, right? Is her mom Leah? Am I saying her? Yeah. When he goes to visit the mom, yeah. And he's like, do you miss it? And she's like, yeah, I miss it. There are parts of it that I do miss, but I don't miss the gossiping. I don't miss the rules. I don't miss the alcoholic husband that couldn't keep a job and nobody helped me with. And I was just like, what? I felt like for me, she just blew everything wide open because it seems like, on the surface, they try and make everything perfect. As long as you do this, everything will be okay. But like her mom really was dealt a raw deal and she had her reasons, which when she talks about them are pretty good reasons for fleeing.
Yeah, and both of us called it either. We're like, the mom has been there. She's experienced this. That's why she brought Esty the application. She's like, in case you need a way out, because I was in it just like you and didn't think I was going to leave and have a bunch of kids, but this community says they're going to be there for you. And I actually thought it was a strong statement when she says, so much sin has been caused in Brooklyn under God's name in gossiping and rules. And she pretty much called it. She's like, you know, you think you have this community that's behind you, but truly they're just waiting for one person to fall, and it's the talk of the town, and now that person is condemned. So yeah, I mean, the mom has been there, done it, and she knows why Esty left. And that part, you know, and Yanky again, you know, he's still respectful to his mother-in-law. He's a sweetheart, right? He's following what he knows. And when he gives her his phone number and she's like, please call me if anything comes up. And she just tosses it. She's like, look, if she left you, she obviously doesn't want to be found. And I'm not going to be the one to call you.
Yeah.
I thought that
I
was
guess
cool
as
of
your
her. She's like, no.
I'll call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. I was like, I think that you have it all wrong. Like she's not on your team. But yeah, but so that was a really good point that she made, saying that, you know, the gossiping and all of that stuff. So there's really a dark side to this, you know, close-knit, observant community. There's really a dark side to it. And I feel like unless you're checking all the boxes and doing everything perfectly and you don't fit that bill, then they're going to come for you. And really, she was doing everything perfectly that she could. I mean, she was trying to check all the boxes. So that was what was interesting and really disappointing. I also, it caught me off guard when her aunt said, you need to have a baby because then you'll have leverage in your marriage.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
She's like, that's the only way you'll have leverage in your marriage. Correction, there is no other leverage except by you having a baby. Like that's the only way you matter or you're gonna mean something in this marriage.
Right.
Could you imagine that pressure though? Like, Kay, like as women, right? We're both women, and there's pressures already having a baby, right? Like age, all that stuff. But could you imagine being in a community where it is your job to have a baby? Like that is the first commandment, is procreation. And we know that, you know, there's infertility issues. There's things that happen beyond one's control. And in a community like that, if you can't produce, you're considered defective. That's the word that the aunt used. She's like, we can't have the mother-in-law telling everybody you're defective.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
That's completely on the woman. Like there is no like idea that it could be the man's issue that is the reason why I'm not having kids. Like, what is up with that? Yeah. So once again, that patriarchal system of society is just kind of crazy. So we're talking last episode about Moses. As if he could do no more Tashakas, he just continues to the envelope. Okay, so
he is the biggest sinner. His debt of sin is no wonder the rabbi was like, you have a lot of debt to clear here. Moses has done it all.
I feel like Moses at this point is racking up sins because he's like, I'm gonna find her and then I'm gonna have all my sins expunged. So let me sin it up now. You know, if you knew you were going into bankruptcy, you know, in a week, then you just spend all you want because you're
spend it all.
Right? So I feel that's like how Moses is living his life right now. So we find out, kind of piece together, he's always on his phone playing the little slot machine.
He has a gambling problem.
So that's the thing. So he goes and finds this guy who's like so happy to see him, right? And he's like, can you get a card game for me tonight? Get it together, blah, blah. Some like seedy club. I don't even know what this little hole in the wall place were that they club.
It was like a strip club. There was a pole there.
Yeah.
But Moses knows all the spots, right? He knows who's gonna set up the game. He knows where that. Oh my God, the part where when he takes Yanky inside the strip club and says, "There's a different Torah when you're on the road." Did you hear that?
Bro, no.
I swear, I wrote it down. I was like, did he just go there? Did he just say that? And he did.
And then that just the day before you guys were in the hotel room putting on all they call phylacteries around your arm and the boxes, the whole prayer situation. And the next day you out in the streets like Moses, like for real. And the fact that I thought at least he would try and ditch Yanky for a little bit and be like, hey Yanky, why don't you go look for her at the park? And then I'll look for her over here. But to bring Yanky with him and to be like, I have a sex worker, like take him to the back. I was like, what? Have you just met Yanky? What in his personality would make you think that would happen? I was like, there's no Yanky's gonna do that. I was really proud that he didn't do anything with the prostitute. I was really proud.
And he's such a good man. Like it goes back to, I mean, like clearly you can see adultery is like it's a part of their law book, right? It's not something that they can do. Like he said, he's like, I cannot touch another woman besides my wife. But I love Yanky for saying what pleasures you. Like he wants to pleasure Esty. He's like, let me ask a different woman other than my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do I take care of a woman? Because my mom keeps telling me just do it and have a baby. Do it and have a baby. And she's like, I know, this one might know.
Wow. I was like, Yanky, did you ever ask her? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, bro, like.
But she wouldn't know either, Kay. Remember? I mean, she's the one that's like, I don't know if I have that hole.
Right,
like,
but
she, you know.
Together, but there is no discovery because, like, it's for procreation. Girl, I was just like, Yanky's trying. I don't know what to say. Okay, so Moses breaks into Leah's apartment, which shocked with because I was like, what is he doing with that plastic bottle? I love moments like that when I don't know what's happening. He cuts the plastic bottle and like slips it and pops the door open. I was just like, what is happening? Like he's done that before.
Yeah, he knows his way around. He broke into that apartment, ate one of her bananas and just dropped it in that broken glass. No fear whatsoever.
He is wild. I was like, what else did he used to do in his past life? He's an expert at breaking into people's houses. Like Moses, you have a lot of sins that need to be forgiven. I'm glad that you flew to Berlin because that was like the only way you was gonna get back. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot. Okay. So he finds the letter, and which I am dying when he finds the letter. Oh, now you really think that she lived there? Like it really does look bad. You know, what else would you think at that point? So also in his repertoire, gambling, burglarizing, and also stalking. So he stalks her.
Yes. Smoking and drinking and God knows what else he has going on. That's our Moses.
So he follows her into the techno club. I was just like, why is every European club techno? Like every time you see it on a movie or on TV, it's always like that music. So they go in, he gets some pictures of her. I was surprised that he didn't confront her. I thought he was gonna be like, what are you doing out here? Where's your husband? You know, I thought he was gonna call her out, but he just discreetly took a picture, which scares me because that means he has a plan and he's working on something.
I was dying at that moment. Oh my God, he walks in, he is so focused that it's scary. Like he is out to get her. And he goes and he follows her and he scopes the entire scene. And then when he brought out that phone, like I think it's a video he's taking. And the sad thing is, it's like, imagine taking that back to Yanky, his community. Like, because, you know, even that video, it's almost more, it's more intimate than it even really was. Because the video he takes, Robert, that cutie, he's kind of whispering in her ear at that time. So it just looks so sketch to have that video. And like, seriously, my heart was dying for her. I was like, oh my God. I did not expect her to get caught. I thought they might run into each other, but not set. Now it's like she's set up.
Yeah.
He has evidence. If she's wearing lipstick and she's with another guy, she's in a club.
to another a member of the opposite sex. So it's just like so many rules she's breaking. Like I was just like, oh man, you're right, but you're right. That is most not problematic, but that's the big, like that is even worse that he has the physical evidence of the picture. It's more to have the picture than to say we saw her at a club. It's so much more to have that picture and have that picture circulate, and then have everybody in the community point out different things, as of course they will, things that she's not doing, commandments that she's breaking essentially. So yeah, that was like, oh my gosh. Can I just say as an aside,
please?
He goes to the bathroom. The thing that stood out to me most in this entire episode, when she goes to the bathroom and she tells the lady's like, oh, cool haircut. And she's like, oh, I like your lipstick. The lady gives her lipstick and she puts it on. I'm like, that would never happen. Everything else that has gone down, I was like, that had a male writer. A woman never give a stranger, another woman, her lipstick at the club. Never.
Girl, you never know though. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but these days I feel like you never know. There's so many different types. Like some people just pass it over and other people use it. Like that's just crazy. I mean, I certainly wouldn't, right? I don't like to share my things. Even with people that I do know, I'm not one to pass over like my lipstick and things that are personal, right? Just from a hygienic point of view. But I feel like I've seen plenty where they have. But Kay's like, not in my world. It's not happening.
Never. Maybe it has some techno club. I don't know. Maybe that's how they do it in the techno club. Who might have judged Berliners? So we also find out, I mean, here's the kind of thing that we've been wondering, is this gonna happen? Is this not gonna happen? The situation with her and Robert, they go back to Robert. They sleep together, her and Robert. At least that's what I took from it. I guess we'll see in episode 4 if that's what really went down. But I feel like, I was glad not to have too many details, because once again, it would have felt very intrusive to me, and I don't want to get that much into like, oh. But I did notice that he went to reach for her, and then she kind of was the lead in taking it off. Like she held it together and then she took it off. So it was more of like a choice she was making, which I think is really important, that we needed to see that she was in control of the situation and it happened the way she wanted it to, and not like it had kind of been with Yanky. Like he's controlling, she's doing whatever for him. He's the king, whatever. So how did you feel about that situation?
I was holding my breath. Like, first of all, she is with Robert, and Robert is a cutie, right? Like, can we just put that? He is a cutie, right? And he's been so great to her from day one. So them going back to his place, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe she's here. Okay, maybe she'll just hang out with him. And then she turns around and she kisses him. I was like, oh my God. And then it got more personal. So it's 2 parts for me. It's like, on one level, it's kind of, okay, let's start with the positive. It's great that she's feeling intimacy, right? Like the way Robert starts kissing her from her face to her neck, and so like gently, like it's intimate, right? So she finally has that moment, which I think she wanted with Yanky, but neither one of them knew that was even a part of the deal, right? They were like, oh, we don't do anything else except this. So I'm happy that she's feeling intimacy and he's taking care of her body and honoring it and worshiping it. And, she's going to feel like a goddess because that's like intimacy. But on the flip side, it's like Yanky loves her so much. He had a chance to get together with another woman and he's like, I can't touch anybody but my wife. And now the wife is getting down with somebody else. So I'm just like, damn.
Yep.
Okay, and then
I was screaming at the TV like, you're still married though.
Okay, and we have to talk about the other part. Okay, we have to talk about the baby.
Oh yeah.
Now we know that she is pregnant.
Yeah. What is she thinking?
How crazy was that? Like, you know, first two episodes were like, well, we don't know, an ultrasound could mean anything. Episode 3, it's confirmed. She's
Yep.
pregnant, and she knew she was pregnant when she left. And she had a sip of beer at the club.
What is she? No, no, no.
She did it?
2 beers and 2 waters.
Okay, good. So she did it. Okay, okay, good. Good eye.
But you are right. She does know she is pregnant. What is her plan? She hasn't met her mom. She hasn't gotten a job. She's having sex with Robert. She's still married. Like, is she even gonna try and get like a formal divorce? Like, how is that? I was just like, you are still married. In that culture, in many cultures around the world, like cheating on your spouse is like deal breaker number 1.
Right.
And so for her to just raise the stakes that high, I was just like, she's gone. In my mind before that, she was a non-believer. She wasn't a non-believer. I felt like, oh, she's a believer, but she's having trouble living up to everything that's expected of her. And we see there's a lot expected of her. But when it came to that part, I was just like, wow, you couldn't even do that. Like, I'm cool with everything else you're doing, but like to cheat on poor Yanky when you could have just, I mean, I know that you guys are apart or whatever, but you have to figure out some kind of way to like formally divorce him. You're obviously not ready to move on. You've just been married for a year. Like, yeah.
Well, I think she's so confused, Kay. Like, that's what's really happening. Now, yeah, that's it. Because that's why she doesn't have a plan. None of this was even planned. I feel like almost like now that we know she knew she was pregnant, it kind of changes the plot, because truly, what was she thinking running away? Because any support that she would even have would come through her husband and community. Because now it's not just her. She's about to give birth to a baby. Like, her nutrition, how she eats, like everything matters. She can't just be on the hustle in Berlin finding her way right now. Like, she has to adequately support herself, right? So for the fact now she's made it to Berlin, it's confirmed she's pregnant. And we get it. Her life is opening up. She's making new friends. She's getting exposed to new things. Even when she was at the club, she's like, my whole life I was taught everything in here will kill me. Like, and now she's experiencing like, oh, this isn't going to kill me. Like, this is kind of fun, right? So I get it. A new world is opening for her, but it doesn't change the fact her old world is very, very present. Like, you can't run from your past, right? Especially in her situation. And now Moshe got evidence on her in the worst way. It's going to be confirmed she's pregnant, and she's going to have to explain this to Yanky? Yeah, like, what a mess.
And what about Robert? Like, I don't know how dishonest she is. Like, is because her friends didn't know she was pregnant before, she could plant that baby on Robert and be like, Robert, this is your baby.
Yeah. Or, you know, and my fear also is that the way that she's been brought up, she's like, oh, my husband will take care of me, or the guy that I'm intimate with. So what if she's thinking that about Robert? She's like, well, I'm with him now. He'll take care of me. Right. And he might have a whole nother thought process. Like, wait a minute. Like, I'm not, prepared for this.
To be able to get rid of her. Like, she's going to be completely attached to him now. And just, well, here's the thing. I wonder what her choices will be, especially since, the community consider her an orphan, right? Like, is she going to turn around and do the same thing to her baby? Is she going to have the baby, give it to Yanky, and just live the life that she wants to live, which is kind of in a mirror to what her mom has done to her. Her mom had totally different reasons, but like, is that her plan then? To give the baby to Yanky and then just be able to freely live her life? I just think it would be so hard for her to go back now. But then I can't see her living alone with this raising this baby on her own. She just does not seem to have the skill set. I mean, I guess her mom can help her, but I just feel like she's ill-equipped to manage that part too. So I don't know what I really doing. I feel like it's I don't know. She's between a rock and a hard place. What are your thoughts about her next steps? Like,
I mean, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about the whole like orphan part and if she'll possibly repeat history. I think what we do know is that she is confirmed that she wants to keep the baby, because when the doctor's like, you have options, she's like, oh no, I don't, I want to have this baby. I don't need to know any other options. So we know she plans on keeping it. But the orphan part, and even the orphan part is so messed up. Like, she's not even an actual orphan, right? Like, she has a mom and a dad. You know, she knows both of them. She was raised by the grandma and great aunt. But again, for such a judgmental community, say that's an orphan because of God knows what reason, right? But she's not even an orphan. I don't even like the word orphan. Like, that's not even cool to use on anybody, but especially somebody that is not an orphan, right? But what she's going to do, I don't know, because her beliefs are still strong also. You know, she's like, no, children are a blessing. So it's like, I can't really see her giving up her child, but I agree. I can't see how she's going to balance it. The world she's almost kind of trying to create for herself. You know,
yeah,
like, even if she gets the scholarship at school, that's not going to pay her bills. That doesn't come with daycare. Like, you're right. I mean, I guess the mom is the only resource. And given we've seen she does have her daughter's back because she threw out that number, she might, you know, step in and be like, I get why you left, and we got you. So we will see. The
yeah.
Yankee's going to be heartbroken.
It's just so ill-equipped. I just can't think of a better word. Like, I mean, I have 2 kids, and there's a term when you're pregnant. It's called pregnancy brain. I don't know if you've heard of this before, where you just forget a lot of stuff. You're just really scatterbrained because half of your brain is constantly thinking about this baby when you're pregnant. Like, oh, I should probably eat this. Oh, the baby didn't move today. Oh, I wonder if the baby will look like this. Oh, what should I get for the baby? We have to start planning this. And the fact that she has none of that, we haven't even seen her in a moment by herself, like touch her stomach. She's not shown that she's thought about this baby at all, besides when she went in, you know, to see the doctor. I'm just like, is she in denial a little bit about the whole situation? Like, maybe she hasn't thought it through. Maybe, well, I mean, I feel like that's probably par for the course for her. I feel like she hasn't thought much through. So, yes, she hasn't thought it through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her audition is coming up, and oh man, I'm super nervous about how that's gonna, not how it's gonna go down, but the aftermath and how it's gonna affect her. Because we saw, like, she could barely take the critique from Yale. So I just wonder how she's gonna take the critique from, I'm assuming there's gonna be a panel of people in this audition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually proud of her for going for it. I mean, we see her go to the office and she's like, let me withdraw my application. You know, it just, I'm not ready for this. But I love it how sometimes when you're ready to quit on something and it won't quit on you, right? And she has such a love for this passion and this music that I'm so happy that even when she showed up to say, withdraw my application, something turned around and she was like, okay, I will go for it. Because if you think about it, that's her first level of kind of like anything for herself she'll be able to build in a stable way in Berlin. I mean, friends, whatever. Okay, she has people to go out with, but she still doesn't have anything stable for her. So this scholarship is a way in. So I like that she's going for it. I like that she's preparing for it. The library scene was funny. I mean, funny, not funny, how she doesn't know how to use the internet, right? And she's like, okay, you can ask this anything. And the guy's like, yeah. And her first question is what? Is there a God? And she's like, there's a lot of answers.
Really interesting that he's like, yeah, you have to choose which answer you want.
Right.
That's interesting, because you're used to the Talmud, You're used to your rabbi. You're used to set black and white answers for everything. You get to choose no answer, right?
Right.
So I was just like, that has to be a mind scramble for her.
Completely. And
Yeah.
her mind is opening up. That's exactly what's happening now. We see it throughout the 3 episodes we've seen. Remember when she tried that sandwich and it was ham, which is pork, right? Forbidden. And she runs out by the tree, ready to spit it up. And when she realizes she's not sick or she doesn't have to spit it up, she comes back and the teacher's like, what happened? She's like, I'm sorry, I ate that and I thought I was gonna get sick. So, you know, her world is opening up. Club scene. Oh, wait, I'm not gonna die from what's in here. And that's a lot to take in. Like you said, when your whole world has been black and white and then you start getting some color in it, you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. Her audition, we'll see. I mean, I keep staying optimistic and hoping that this unleashed talent is just gonna come out of nowhere, but that could be my wishful thinking.
I'm an optimist too. I am an optimist, and I'm super excited that we have super fans that are watching along with us. I'm optimistic that you guys are enjoying this series as much as we are. We want to encourage you, if you're listening on YouTube, to go ahead and drop us a comment below. Those are really helpful, and give us a thumbs up. And then if you're listening podcast, then make sure to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, because we love that. And we're super grateful and thankful to Keven and Maria that have created this platform for us, that even in the time of COVID-19, we can enjoy watching and bringing you your favorite shows. So really grateful for that. So I have a little bit of news for us as it pertains to the Orthodox community. So there's a large Orthodox community in Lakewood, New Jersey. There's about 100,000 residents there, and about 70% of them, they say, are Orthodox Jews. And the thing that's interesting is, we know from watching the series, this is a very close-knit community, and rituals and just being together is really important. So this is probably something that is really difficult given the coronavirus outbreak, you know, that we can't meet together in large groups and that kind of thing. And so they just were getting some coverage on the news, and they have been closing tons of community centers, schools. The largest yeshiva in the US, the largest like Jewish school in the United States, is located in Lakewood, and it was closed a few weeks back. And so one resident was saying, our people get 3 to 4 robocalls a day from various rabbis and community leaders urging the people to stay inside. Kosher grocery stores are limited to curbside pickups only, and they're not doing any more praying in quorums, which is like a really important part of their religion, where 10 Orthodox men get together in groups and pray. So they have cut that completely out. So that's just how it's affecting really huge impact in their community as well. So that's really interesting. And Ashmin, you have a special segment for us. It's trivia, right?
I do. It is trivia. So we're gonna test our knowledge, and we're gonna learn something as we have been, and make sure that our viewers learn something with us as well. So are you ready, Kay?
Yes.
Because you're gonna be my person that answers. Okay, so in this episode, we see a lot of rules being broken, right? And we know that in the Jewish religion, there is a law book, and this law book is what people refer to for commandments and guidelines and things, you know, how to follow and how to obey the law. So what is the name of the Jewish religious law book? Is it no. I got options. I got options. Yes, it's multiple choice. I got you. So is it A, halahu, B, Torah, or C, commandments?
I'm gonna say.
Let me know if you need me to repeat them.
Nope, I'm gonna say the Torah.
You're gonna say B, Torah?
Yes.
Okay, well, good job, but it's actually a halacha.
Oh, okay. So it's a different, so maybe the Torah is the religious text.
And let me
Sorry, you're freezing up a little.
explain why, because there is
Sorry, you're freezing up. So I'm guessing that,
controversy around this.
so maybe the Torah is the religious.
The Torah is the Old Testament communities and rabbi. Yeah, so whether so some communities might say Torah, others might say halacha, but in the modern day, it's the halacha that they refer to. But I did want that clear because some people might say no, it's the Torah, but yes, understood. It is controversial, but overall, a lot of the supporting information
That makes sense.
but it comes from halacha. Okay, second question. So Sabbath and Shabbat are both okay, should I close?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ashman. Sorry, we're kind of freezing up, so we can't get through this segment. Let us just start to make some quick predictions. I would say for next episode, which is our final episode 4, really, really sad to see it go. Hopefully it will go into season 2. So I think that there is going to be a showdown and that they are going to meet each other on the street, because there are just too many scenes of them walking on the street. So I feel like they're just gonna bump into each other. I hope I'm gonna say Moses isn't gonna be there. It's gonna be Yanky and Esty are gonna bump into each other on the street. She's gonna run, he's gonna chase her, maybe to the school, and then he's gonna be like, "You're having my baby," and the friends are gonna be like, "What?" So that's what I think is gonna happen. My prediction for next episode. And Ashman is kind of frozen, I think, so maybe we can't get predictions from her. But I know that you guys can reach her, or you can reach out to her on Twitter and on Instagram at Ashman Insights. And you can get in contact with me at HostK, that's HOSTKAY, on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us on the Unorthodox After Show, and we will see you guys for episode 4 next time. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.